Right now, check your pockets. If you're wearing women's clothes, they're probably fake or too small to hold your phone. And that is not a lazy designer or bad luck. It is 300 years of history, and honestly, a little bit on purpose. Stick around because the twist is wild. The handbag, the entire purse, was basically invented because someone took women's pockets away. You know the move. Phone in one hand, keys in the other, doing a little shuffle because there's simply nowhere to put either one. Let's rewind to the 1600s, when women actually had amazing pockets, better than most of us have today. Back then, a woman's pocket was a separate thing. A pair of cloth pouches tied around the waist, worn underneath the skirt. She reached them through hidden slits in the skirt, and they were roomy, often beautifully embroidered little bags. Keys, coins, snacks, sewing kit. A woman could carry her whole little world tied right to her hips. Some of these pockets were treasured, hand-stitched, and even passed down from mother to daughter. Practical, personal, and proudly hers. Let that sink in. A few centuries ago, the average woman had more usable pocket space than a pair of modern skinny jeans gives you today. Meanwhile, in the late 1600s, tailors started doing something new for men, sewing pockets directly into the clothes. Coats, waistcoats, breeches, the pocket became permanent, hidden, and built in. Men's clothing basically turned into wearable storage. And men's pockets just kept multiplying, one for the watch, one for coins, one for tickets, each with its own little job. Their clothes basically became hands-free command centers. Keys, money, and tools all on the body, all instantly within reach. Then, around the end of the 1700s, fashion flipped, and this is where it goes wrong for women. The new look was the slim, column-shaped dress in thin, clingy fabric, gorgeous, but with absolutely no room for bulky tie-on pockets. A pocket full of stuff would ruin that clean line, so the pockets had to go, but women still needed to carry things. And so the purse was born. Women started carrying tiny handheld bags called reticules, the very first modern handbags. Here's the kicker. The tinier the bag, the higher your status. It signaled you carried almost nothing and a husband who handled the money. So women traded deep, hidden, hands-free pockets for a small bag they had to hold all day. That is a serious downgrade. A handheld bag also had to be held every single moment. Set it down and you might lose it. In a crowd, it's easy to snatch. And this wasn't a short blip. For well over 100 years, women basically had no real, built-in pockets at all. And for a long time, carrying almost nothing was actually a flex, proof that someone else handled your money, your bags, and your errands. Through the 1800s and 1900s, the gap only widened. Men's clothes piled up dozens of pockets. Women's clothes kept losing them, because designers decided pockets interrupted the feminine silhouette, a bump where a smooth line should be. If your wardrobe is suddenly making sense, hit subscribe. This channel digs up the hidden history behind everyday things. Okay, back to the pocket war. Because pockets didn't stay just a fashion problem, they became political. Around 1910, fashion pushed the hobble skirt, hemmed so tight at the ankles that women literally couldn't take a normal step. In response, tailors created the suffragette suit, a divided skirt for free movement, and as many as 6 real working pockets. Those pockets were a statement. Somewhere to keep your own things meant independence, freedom of movement, and freedom in general. For a moment, the pocket became a tiny symbol of a much bigger fight for women's rights. The crowds found a woman in a pocket-filled suit a little scandalous, but the idea stuck. Practical clothing was part of being taken seriously. So after all that, surely modern clothes fixed it, right? Well, in 2018, some journalists decided to actually measure. The team at the pudding measured 80 pairs of jeans, 40 men's, 40 women's across 20 different brands. The result? Women's front pockets were, on average, 48% shorter than men's, nearly half the pocket just gone. They were also narrower, and only about 40% of women's front pockets could even fully fit a smartphone. In a lot of them, you can't even push your hand past the knuckles. They're basically decorative, a pocket-shaped lie. Worse, a lot of women's pockets are completely fake, sewn shut, printed on, or just a flap with nothing behind it. Which is why so many women just borrow a partner's jacket, not for the look, but purely for the glorious deep pockets. So the same old pattern just keeps going. No pockets means you carry a bag, exactly like 200 years ago. Even formal wear betrays you. A stunning dress with absolutely nowhere to hide a phone, so it's back to clutching a tiny clutch all night. Try the experiment. Same brand, same size, grab the men's version, and the pocket is suddenly twice as deep. Same shop, different rules. So why is it still like this? Honestly, it's not one villain, it's a few reasons stacked on top of each other. 1. The silhouette. Tight, body-hugging clothing sells, and a full pocket bulges and breaks that smooth line. 2. Money. Skipping pockets means less fabric and less sewing time, so it's simply cheaper to make the garment. 3. The handbag business. No pockets means you buy a bag, and for luxury brands, handbags are enormous money. But be fair, handbags actually appeared after pockets vanished, so it's a bag conspiracy is too simple. It's a mix. And underneath, it all sits an older idea, that men moved through the public world while women's lives were kept closer to home. Less room to carry your own things quietly means less of your own independence to move, spend, and go. And to be fair to designers, some shoppers genuinely do want that smooth, pocket-free line. It isn't pure villainy, it's partly taste. And lately, the utility and cargo trend has quietly smuggled real pockets back into women's fashion, function dressed up as style. And it all became a loop. No pockets pushes you to buy a bag. The bag makes pockets feel unnecessary, so the next dress quietly skips them too. Take away the pocket and you quietly change behavior. You can never go truly hands-free. You always have to bring a bag. Which is why the pocket was never really just a pocket. It's a little pouch of independence, a place for your own keys, your own money, your own stuff, carried on your own body. You handed that freedom to one half of the world and quietly took it from the other, one slim dress at a time. The good news, it's slowly coming back, designs with real pockets, and shoppers who now ask one simple question before buying. So next time you shop, do the test, slide your hand in. If it stops at the knuckles, you now know exactly 300 years of why. These days, it has pockets, has become a real selling point, a little sentence people say out loud with genuine joy in the fitting room. If this rewired how you see your own clothes, subscribe for more hidden histories behind the everyday, and I'll see you in the next one.